I'm Sara Kooperman. I'm the CEO of SCW Fitness Education. I'm not sure if you saw Mike, who was up, but Mike Lieber is our fantastic cinematographer, and he's also running this webinar. He really was very instrumental in making sure all our staff has been fully trained on Zoom so that we could run our conference that we run. But I have some fabulous people with me today. The first thing I want to do, you guys, is welcome. Don't freak out that your video is being turned off and that you've been muted, okay? So, and that just helps with bandwidth. Shelly, there we go. Bye, Shelly, sorry. So, but what I want you to do is move your mouse, if you would. Look at the bottom of your screen. You see that green button, it says share screen. Click on the button to the left, which says chat. And that's the chat box. And you can scoot it over to the side. You can put it wherever. We got somebody from Harvard University, people from Boston, hi, Dawn Stennis, Phoenix, Arizona, Lawrence, Kansas, South Florida, Westchester, New York. Oh, I've got cousins in Westchester. We've got people from Ecuador. What are you doing on? Rhode Island. I think Rhode Island is the opposite end of Ecuador. So we've got people from all over the USA and all over the world. So thank you for joining us. Use your chat box. Please, please, please ask us questions. We really, really answer them. What we're going to talk about with these lovely ladies, I'm first going to introduce them, and then I'm going to go through just a little summary of this unemployed group fitness, the new frontier, what we're going to do, how we're going to handle all this. Petra Kolber is an amazing inspiration. She's an internationally renowned wellness leader who's known throughout the industry as a crusader for change, and she's a beacon of authentic happiness, which I assure you she definitely is. She's done keynotes at our conference. She's amazing. And she's an author and speaker and inspires people around the globe to stand up for their lives and live profoundly. And she's going to share her wisdom with us. Kimberly Spreen, who very wisely is wearing a scarf, okay, it makes us look far more professional, has over 25 years experience teaching fitness and yoga as well as professional and personal development. She served as the Senior Director of Group Fitness at Lifetime Fitness for over a decade. And she was the IDEA Program Director of the Year Award recipient. And then we have the lovely Christine Conti, who is the CEO of Conti Fitness and Wellness and the New Jersey Director for Orange Theory Fitness. She's an international fitness presenter with 20 years in the industry. It's funny, with the good lighting, we look like 20 years younger, right? And Christine is the well-known co-host of Two Fit Crazies and a Microphone podcast. I love this podcast. Ridiculous name, and that's why I listen. Seriously, that's the first reason I turned it on. But it's great. She interviews is awesome. It's really awesome. So what we wanted to talk about was I kind of freaked out that 124 24-hour fitness is closed. They closed their doors. And then over 400 24-hour fitnesses filed for bankruptcy this week. So how as group fitness instructors, are we going to reemerge and reinvent ourselves? How can we maintain a positive attitude in this reopening frenzy? What should our approach be to securing our passion and future and our destiny as community health and wellness leaders? And I'm just hoping, honestly, to get some inspiration myself, because dealing with this pandemic has been kind of been enough. But I look at this, and Petra, I'm going to start with you. The woman in white, I always get this idea that there's beams coming off of you. Okay, it's not an odor. I think she was one of the showered ones.
Bit dodgy.
A beam of light and inspiration. How are what are our different opportunities that are out there?
Well, I love when you said before that we are health and wellness leaders. So I look at this as an opportunity to actually expand who we are and who we thought we could be. And also expand our idea of what fitness is. You know, Sara, we talk about, you know, this is a scary time, but there's a place for fear and faith, right? For doubts and dreams. And so while it's not easy, I think this is an invitation for us all in our industry to actually stretch our idea of what health and wellness means. So for many of us, right, it was about the workout, the HIIT training, the Tabata, all great stuff. But what if health and wellness wasn't about that? What if it was about how people feel? And so that the entry of movement was just the gateway drug in a way. But what you're offering is the ability to reduce people's stress, reduce people's anxiety, reduce people's depression, all the stuff that wasn't sexy that is now so needed in this world in a global way. So I think my invitation right now is to use this time of change and absolute uncertainty to live in that place of uncertainty, but use as an opportunity to actually expand your idea of what a health and wellness leader means.
Oh, I think that's great. And Kimberly, I kind of see you nodding there, you know, and, you know, go for it, elaborate. You know, Petra's talking about this, and I think it's wonderful. I love the dichotomy, the fear and the faith, you know, the doubt and the dream. For me, that's my life. I'm like on a roller coaster. It's like, and it's sometimes it's not daily. Sometimes it's hourly with this pandemic. So how do I stabilize? How do I, you know, look at these as opportunities and not as barriers?
At the end of the day, it really ends up becoming a choice. You know, we all, especially the people that are on this call, you beautiful difference makers, like you came here to shine. You came here to shine your light on the world. And sometimes before we shine, we've got to wake up and rise. So like Petra said, this is kind of a wake up call. And, you know, for me, the process is wake up, rise, and shine. So you may feel knocked down right now, especially for those of you that felt like, okay, I'm ready to go back. And then you found out there's nothing to go back to, or those that even like myself are going back to less than 50% of the teaching schedule that I had prior to the pandemic. I know a lot of instructors are taking a heavy impact in that realm too. And so this really is the time to take a step back and take some deep breaths, give yourself some patience, and really ask yourself, maybe for the first time in a long time, what do you really want? If you're going to look forward, and as Petra and I often talk about, and it's the perfect word, how are you going to reimagine your future? How are you going to reimagine maybe this industry and the role that you play in it? Because you get to redefine that for yourself. But it really does start with you taking a step back and asking that question, what do I want? If this is my wake-up call, if I've been knocked down, how can I make the conscious choice to get back up, look forward, decide what it is I want to create, reimagine what the future could look like for me in this industry that I love, because I promise you, the opportunities are beyond what you're probably thinking right now.
Yeah, and I'm seeing Christine is nodding and she's smiling and she's talking.
This is super important. We are not up here pontificating and telling you that things are going to be butterflies and unicorns and rainbows when we come back. And we're going to come back stronger out of this, because everything that we go through and the way that we react is what builds your character. That's who you are. And I always defer back to my favorite quote from my favorite person, Wonder Woman. And she says, you have two choices in life: do something or do nothing. Always choose something. And this is your chance. You are leaders. You are on this call right now because you are choosing to do something. You have the ability not only to change lives, but to save lives. And that is something that is so powerful. If you're in a different industry, you may be pushing products or pushing money. This is about changing lives. And just like we were talking about before, is appreciate the fact that you have this gift to give to other people, and appreciate who you are and know that you are enough and you have something in you that you can change people's lives. And I know that, Sara just talked about that up and down roller coaster. A lot of us feel that way. Oh my gosh, I feel great today, and then I'm a success, and now I'm a failure. Now I'm a success. I go through that hourly sometimes. And that's okay, because it's how we come out. We keep riding that roller coaster. It's about not getting off. It's riding it out. And what are we going to do? You're going to surround yourself with people that are pulling you up. People that are going to say, here's my hand. I don't have all the answers right now, but I'm sure as heck going to keep going. And we don't know up here the fate of every single person's business. But what we're going to do is say, you know what? We're going to build relationships. We're going to build that trust and say, listen, you have to take care of your health right now. There is no one more important than you. Think about what just happened in this world. There has never been anything like this, especially in our lifetime, where things have completely shut down. We are now going to come back from this stronger because we've gone through it. So surround yourself with that yes, you can attitude, those people that have that shine, because those are the people that are going to get you through those low points.
And I think that is incredibly important. I'm looking at the chat box here, and I'm very inspired. I see Lee is saying, as someone who's been in the fitness industry for 35 years, I'm trying to figure out if there's still a place for those of us over 60. Oh, dear God, I hope I'm with you, girl. I was teaching and working with the older population, and those group fitness classes may not be feasible anymore. But then I also saw Julie right underneath said, I wish I had my former participants' contacts. Don't give up with that. See if you can call the club, see if they'll give you the name and the contact of these people. Also, get yourself on Facebook, get yourself on Instagram, and put little pleas out there. Take pictures of yourself. Maybe you've got pictures of your other students. Say, if you're one of my students in my class, please, email me, text me, send me something. I want to stay in touch. You will be amazed at what you can rebuild. And for me, I look at this, I love Christine, the Wonder Woman example, because I always think of Spider-Man. Now that's a little odd because he's a teenager, but they said with great power comes great responsibility. And I feel that responsibility, like from my 60-year-old friend over here, from my family, from my employees, things like that. And that's my wave. But I also think that I'm going to go back to you, Petra, and I need your help and your wisdom here, because you guys out here, if you don't have a job to go out to, do your resume. Take a little video of yourself, why you're a great instructor and where you want to teach. See what clubs are opening around, and go in and introduce yourself. Put your mask on, put your gloves on if you want to wear gloves, put a name tag on, see what you can do. There are things out there for us. Petra, talk to us.
I really would love to talk about this age thing. Can I continue that conversation? Because again, that's a mindset, right? And so I see my dear friend Molly Fox, who was my mentor. She gave me my career. And, I'm going to be 57. You're old and you forget how old you are, and you have to ask Alexa, if you're born in I actually thought I was 57, and I was so happy when she said you're 56. Like, yes. I gained a year. But I think ideally it's for, I know Jackie is on here right now and she teaches to an older population. She taught her seniors how to get on Zoom. And this is another thing, like Kimberly and Christine and Sarah have said, it's a choice. What does age mean? This is an actual time, guys, where your wisdom is going to be revered, where your wisdom is going to be respected, because this is not the first time you've been brought to your knees, I would bet. You know, for most of us, you hit a sudden time in your life. There have been many interval trainings called life. So that is a choice. For us, it's not just reimagine your life, reimagine what age means to you. Take the number off the deck. And why not us, the older, aging fitness industry, why not let us be the possibility? Live the possibility, Lee. Live the possibility as Jackie is, and just show up. This is an awakening, and it's awakening for us all too about age. So let's maybe reinvent what aging means in this industry too, and talk about stress management and staying active for your dreams, right? Really change the conversation about, again, what does health and wellness mean? And we got put into a box. You know, we had that limited, we don't like getting older, we don't like a certain body shape. Now let's us be the ones to change the conversation, and those that will listen will be with you forever. And you're going to be that person that lives the possibility, teaches them how to get onto Zoom, teaches them how to connect in a different way. We've broken the bubble where people who thought there's no way I would ever get on Zoom are now getting on Zoom. So let us use this time also for ourselves, not just to redefine how we show up for others, but how do we show up, and what conversations are we having with ourselves? And
that's incredibly important. It was very interesting when we started live streaming the certifications. We had some of our presenters, we started it in early October, so we were pretty lucky with that, because I'm kind of a freak and I do love change, and we thought we would try this new thing, live streaming, and my staff was like all freaking out and said, no, let's wait till 2020. But what we did is we tried it, and they thought it was really going to diminish all the live attendees, that everybody was going to stream because it was less expensive, blah, blah, blah. It actually grew the live attendance as well as the live stream attendance. So I think we get scared of stuff, but it was amazing. And when you talk about surrounding yourself and choosing the people to be around, what I was inspired by is it was our presenters. It was Jeff Howard and Abby Apple that said, we can stream from our home now. And I'm like, well, how are you going to do that? They're like, I got a computer, I got a phone, we can make this happen. And they figured it out. And yet I talked to another presenter and I said, can you please lead this certification? I'm not kidding. Tears. Not the regular tears, the vomit tears. I can't do this. I don't even have a PowerPoint. I work with a whiteboard, crying. And I was like, I talked and we talked a couple more times. Boom. She learned Zoom. She learned how to do it. She got the PowerPoint going. And honestly, it's choosing who to talk to, and definitely making that leap. Kimberly, how would you talk to people that feel like they're aging out, or feel like, how do I get in touch with my clients that I don't know how to reach?
Sara, I happen to feel very strongly about this topic. The number of instructors who have come to me who have been teaching 20, 30, 40 years, and their biggest fear is that they're not teaching the same kinds of classes they once were. Younger instructors are coming in. How do I stay relevant, Kimberly, is the question I get over and over again. And my head explodes in a million different directions, because yes, let's redefine age, but let's also respect the fact that with the age comes the experience and the wisdom that you now have as part of what you bring to this industry to be of service to others. There is absolutely nothing that you can't learn to be able to still contribute to the industry. For those of you that are thinking, I know I saw in the chat and I get it, having been in the corporate world for so long, it's not likely you're going to be able to call and say, hey, can I get the contacts for my classes? They're going to shut you down immediately for privacy reasons. So maybe you have to start from a new beginning of building your community, but that doesn't mean you're starting over. You are never starting over because you've got the experience, you've got the wisdom that you bring to the table. In the thousands of years that have led up to this point, there's never been another you. And in the thousands of years yet to come, there will never be another you. And you've got to embrace that, embrace the wisdom and the experience that you have earned over the years. Even if it means we don't do as many burpees anymore, God forbid, it doesn't mean we don't have something else to offer. So I want you to know, whether it's Zoom or Google Meetup or Facebook or Instagram, there is nothing you can't learn. And when it comes to building your community and finding a way to serve them in a way that they need you to serve them now, there is nothing that you can't do. And there's absolutely no expiration on dreams. Period. Sorry.
Mic drop.
No expiration on
Hello,
dreams.
warm.
All right, so we want to create solutions. We want to be change agents. We're not just, fitness leaders anymore. We're change agents. People ask us, what do you eat? How do you sleep? Who do you sleep with? When you're teaching a group exercise class, you've got a microphone. I can say whatever I want to say. But this is a time of stress and social distancing. Christine, you've been running a facility. I think it's several facilities, right?
So I've been overseeing a lot of facilities. I always say that, there's a difference sometimes between being a fitness instructor or being in the business of fitness. And in order to be successful in anything, you need to really be in the business of it. And what does that mean? It means that we have to think of ourselves in many different dimensions. So yes, you are someone who is a motivator. You are someone who is going to be well-versed in exercise science, but you also have to be a great communicator. You've got to be great at marketing. You've got to understand, the ROI involved if you're going to do something, because your time is money. For many of us, including myself, and I'm putting myself right out there, that things really shut down. About 4 months ago, a lot of the projects and things that I was overseeing or people I was working with stopped completely. And you have to take a step back. And I love that you said you're not starting over. You're just starting something new. Okay, well, how am I going to now think about the future if I don't know exactly what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen with wearing masks or touching people. Do I high five? Do I not? I'm getting my temperature scanned. I've got gloves on. How am I going to figure this out? If you start thinking too much about that, it's going to give you such anxiety that you're going to kind of take a step back. It's about starting something new. So how are we going to start something new? You spoke about, all right, well, if we can't get lists from the club and we've got to be an agent of change somehow, well, let's give some examples. You live in a certain area and those people cannot work out at that facility, or like 24-hour fitness, they've closed. There's some places, some pretty big gyms around here that have closed down that, have hundreds of people that work for them. And what I have said as I've gotten out there and said, listen, if anyone is looking to maybe get together and figure out some classes here and there, reach out to me, because I want you to think outside the box. I want you to go out to your community, your chamber of commerce, talk to the people that are in your area and ask them. Is it a retirement community that has some clubhouses? Do they have someone that runs fitness? all the people that went to that club, are they on some sort of Facebook or Instagram? Are you using social media? Put yourself out there. And like you all were saying before, make a connection. Say, hey, do you know these people from my class? Do some Google searching. You may need to put some time into this, but it's time well spent. If you're thinking about growing in the future and even going to work somewhere else, have that ability to say, here's what I can offer you. And it's always great to say, instead of having your hand out and saying, give me, pay me, it's, I have this to offer for you. And look at, as Sara said, put your resume together. Get some testimonials, get some videos of yourself teaching, give some teasers here and there. We are now not in such this small area with Zoom, with video. You're now worldwide. Every single one of us is an international fitness star, right? So start thinking in big ways. Why can't you reach out to people in China? Reach out to people in Europe, because you have a platform now that you may not have thought of. And you may take a little time to build, but that's something that you're not starting over. It's a new project. It's something new. And we're all in struggle.
What I really like about that, and I'm reading a comment, Rocky said to everybody who's an edutainer, which I love that term, but analysis is paralysis.
True.
And I truly believe that. I'm always amazed. I always use this story from Under Armour. Under Armour went into this big meeting with Dick's Sporting Goods, and they went into this meeting and they had their whole crew lined up, and Dick's Sporting Goods says, we love your workout clothes, the workout pants that you have, but we need a sleeveless shirt, we need a tank shirt, we need a long sleeve shirt. And the owner's just sitting there nodding and said, not a problem, we will get you a prototype, blah, blah, blah. And as he's walking out, everybody else on his whole team say, we don't have any shirts whatsoever. We've never designed shirts. We have no idea what you're talking about, a gusset in the armpit. But the answer is always yes. The answer is yes. And I look at this, I'm kind of embarrassed. I'm looking at like Mike Lieber, the little SCW over on my left here. But when we went into live stream mania, I talked to the team and I said, can we do this so we have 9 sessions on the hour? I don't want to go in and have people locked up for 3 weekends in a row with 1 session to choose from and it's all recorded. No, I want live sessions. Everybody, all of them said, yes, we can do this, no problem. We built the site, we did the whole thing. A week later, I'm like, okay, now how do we do this? And he goes, we've almost figured it out. And I wanted to jump through my Skype and strangle Sean Senningen because he's like, I think we can do it. And he had to build the technology. And thank God it worked, but it's like analysis through paralysis. If we kept thinking about how are we going to do it, how are we going to do it, when are we going to do it, it doesn't happen. What I'm going to tell you guys, everybody on this call, I want you to go out and I want you to make mistakes. I never look at it as a mistake. Nothing is a mistake. It's called a learning. That's what we do at Manias after we finish anything we do. Or after I teach a class, I call up Connie, my friend Connie. I say, I sucked. I was horrible. This is what I did, da, da, da. And she's like, well, how are you going to make it better? And this is the way I used to talk to my kids when they were 3 years old. Thank you very much, Connie. And it's like, well, it's a learning. I'm going to try this and this and this. And go out and make mistakes and you'll have learnings. And, Petra, I see you just sitting there smiling. And, avenues to express our passion for health and wellness. That's our next topic. So I'm going to ask for I see you taking notes. Go for it, girl.
It's my memory. I got to take notes or it just leaves and it never comes back. I just love this idea. We were talking about things shutting down. But when things shut down, opportunities open up. But we often miss them because we're still looking at the old, what we wish could be. So I'd love the guys here to consider. I love the idea of saying yes and. Say yes and then get ready for your yes. I like the word yet. I don't know how to use Zoom yet. I don't know how to go on Facebook Live yet. So you leave that space for the learning. If we waited for our next yes, for our dream, we'd never do anything. Because here's something that's so sucky but so true. Actions of confidence always have to come before feelings of confidence. So in this new world of uncertainty, if we're going to say, I'm going to start when I feel confident. I'm going to start when I feel, it's never going to happen. So that's why I say yes, make a declaration. I call it throwing your backpack over the wall. I would love you guys right now, before our time together ends, make a declaration in the chat of one action step that you're going to do. Because then we're going to hold your backpack accountable. I say it's throwing your backpack over the wall. And then I say, no, it's throwing your backpack over the wall with your cell phone in. Because I might leave my backpack, but I'm not leaving my cell phone. Make a simple declaration to us here with loving hearts who are holding a space. And I'm just telling you, every single Petra, Kimberly, Christine, Sara, we're all terrified most of the time. It's just what do you decide to do with that fear? Okay, this is really scary because I haven't done it yet. I love this one, and then I'll shut up. But think about, this is a time to really, we talk about stretching our flexibility. This is the time to stretch yourself as a human being, to stretch your confidence. Say yes to something, right? Mermaid, I love that. Someone's going to teach a Zoom class. Yes, just put something down in the chat, and that's throwing your backpack over. We're going to finish our book, Go Myrna. So yeah, thank you. I'll shut up now because I'm just going to read everyone's life and I'm going to hold them accountable.
Well, one of my favorite things I'm reading on here, where was she? I don't know where she was. She actually didn't know how to use Zoom, and she was trying to teach her class. So she taped her phone to the wall so that she could teach her class. Whoever you are, I love you, okay? I want you to apply to present, because God knows I've got to do that. But it's wonderful. It's like making these declarations of inspiration. And somebody was asking, how do I reach new people? Like, how do they reach new people? One of the things I also saw was, how do I monetize? Somebody wrote, how do I monetize? Because the reality is, yes, I want to be inspired. I want to feel good about myself. I always think of Kimberly's phrase. I'm sorry, I love this. I put it on a sticky note. Where's my sticky notes? My sticky note on my computer that says patience and grace. That's my Kimberly Spreen statement. But how do I reach new people and how do I monetize this? There's nothing wrong with saying, I'm providing you a class, and if you'd like to go on Venmo and do a donation, I would appreciate it. And that's it. And it's very easy to set up a Venmo. If you guys don't have one, just Google Venmo, and trust me, they walk you right through it. But how would you tell them? How would they build their communities, Kimberly? How would they, I mean, you left corporate America and you started an online business at a time before other people were doing this. And it's very inspirational. Right now, it just hits everybody's heart. But, that was a huge leap and a huge change. How did you ever manage that?
I, like you said, Sara, making lots of mistakes. One of the greatest bits of advice I ever got from Bahram Akradi, the founder and CEO of Lifetime, when he put me in the director role or asked me to step into that role, I said no 4 times before I had the courage to do it. And he sat me down and he said, Kimberly, do me a favor, make mistakes. And I'm like, what? I'm like, did the owner of Lifetime just tell me to mess up? And he's like, I really want you to make mistakes. You want to know why? I'm like, why? He says, because at least then I know you're making decisions and taking action. And that's what I need leaders to do. Well, all of you are leaders. So like Sara said, You got to decide what you want for yourself, for your future, reimagine the future that you want, envision that for yourself, and know that, as I said before, you can learn anything, but you will make mistakes. And something that's really stuck with me is you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And so I really encourage you to start with wherever you are, with a sense of appreciation. As Petra said, not focusing on the lack, and understandably, and Petra said this before, you're going to potentially need to grieve if something has been lost. Allow for that for sure. But then start to shift your focus away from the lack or what you no longer have to the possibility, the opportunity, what it is you want for your future, both professionally and personally, and how you want to be able to help people and how you want to be able to show up for people. And then you start doing it. Start doing it before you're good. Start showing up on social media. Start, whether it's delivering live classes, or guess what? We're on a platform doing 0 burpees right now. It is possible to be able to use things like Zoom or the Google Meet Hangout thing on Google.
Yeah.
You can use these different platforms just to be able to connect with people. Have you ever thought about taking the experience, the knowledge, the wisdom that you've gained over the years, especially those of you that were challenging yourself because you've been doing this for so long? Is there going to be future opportunity for you? Yes, you just might need to redefine it for yourself. Who says you can't be a mentor, a guide, a coach, and build a whole new community to be able to support people on their journey to live a healthy way of life? You don't have to have a master's degree. You don't have to be a psychologist to be able to just support people on their path. Ask good questions, have good conversations, and build community by being of service to them. And when you provide value, you know, Petra and I talk about this a lot. We'll be talking about it a lot this weekend, I know for sure. When you put value out there, you want to be in service, you become an attractor. So it's not about looking for your community. It is about putting out there what you have to offer the world. Your community will find you. But you've got to let yourself be seen. That's the first step, knowing that you're going to mess up. And it's okay. Everything you do, every action you take is either a win or a lesson. And then you just pick yourself up. If it happens to be a lesson, learn from it and you keep going. And it will grow, I promise you. You've got to believe enough in yourself to start.
That's great. That's just great. I love that. It's either a win. It's not a win or a loss.
Right.
It's a win or a lesson. And those lessons are what motivates you and what drive you. You know, I remember when I was applying to law school, it was like I put all my lessons, all my rejection letters from law school all over my bathroom wall. It was like the only place I could sit down and read when I was in school and applying. That's really a beautiful picture I just painted. Sorry about that. But we need these lessons. And I think sometimes when we get older, I see it in myself that, you know, I think I should be a certain way. I think I should have attained a certain thing. I think, you know, there's things you have in your head. I should be this, I should be that. And instead of letting ourselves be discovered. And I think in this pandemic, we have thankfully been forced to slow down. And I hear about this and I read about this, the luck we've had to spend time with our families that we didn't have, or even though we want to strangle them probably every other day on that roller coaster. But spending time with the family, being able to try new things. And we do have to look at this as a journey and an opportunity for us. Pioneering on our entrepreneurial spirits. Okay, talk to me about this. Christine, share with me some thoughts on this.
Let's do it. So this is the perfect time to say, you know what, I always wanted to I never had time to fill in the blank. It is time to write your own story. This is it. And I have to say, I'm going to go back to what you said. About 3 years ago, I left my safe job with all that money and pulled the boat close enough to the dock that I don't call it leaping. I don't think any of us out there right now are leaping. I think we're taking a step. And sometimes that step feels like a leap, but it's a lot closer than you think, because you've already been out there. You have that passion in your heart to help people. How are we going to make this a career? And when I left that job, I thought, what the heck am I going to do? How am I going to? And I remember my husband saying to me, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. That was such a powerful statement, because I knew that this is what I wanted, but I didn't have the answer. But I knew I had someone that was like, you work hard, you'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And I have to say that taking those chances and failing and making mistakes is fine. Sara mentioned about my podcast. I said to someone, I knew podcasting was a great market. And for all of you guys, it costs nothing if you want to start. And the first time I ever recorded, it was awful. And I've talked to my co-hosts about taking it down. It's the sound quality. We sound like we're in a bathroom. And he always said to me, Christine, we have to leave that up, because that shows we started. And now we've evolved because we were consistent. And that's really what it's about. It wasn't about making money at that point. It was, wow, we saw that people need a place, a platform for a voice. There's nothing more important than giving someone a voice and making them feel like they're something. Because you could talk to people, we say this all the time, you're going to forget what all of us said today, but you may not forget how you felt when you were on here with us. And if we could help you feel a little bit better, because Petra, feeling good makes you feel good. That's my hashtag. Simple as that. But you've got to start. And putting yourself out there sometimes requires, maybe you need to spend time around those people. Like my husband said to me, go for it, because you may regret this for the rest of your life if you don't fill in your own blank. And what's the worst that can happen? You fail, and maybe that wasn't your path that you were meant to be. There's going to be another opportunity. But you've got to surround yourself with those people that are going to pick you up. And if you go back, I talk about, my first podcast sounds terrible, but you have to have that terrible in order to get better. Well, and that's important to remember.
What I think we're going to do is our next webinar, everyone is going to be in their bathroom. I think I want to hear what that really sounds like, because if you saw, like, I have to get up and I have to let my dog in. Things are always changing. We're getting, believe it or not, to the 45-minute mark. So I'm going to ask you amazing, inspirational ladies. Thank you so much. Petra, I'm going to start with you. Leave us with fear and faith, doubt and dreams. Leave us with something here tonight.
Okay, one of my favorite sayings is, fear is a sign you're getting closer to your truth. What if you use that fear to lean in? And my whole thing is right now, this is an opportunity for us to live a life of our dreams. Get really quiet and think about the life you want to live versus, like Sara said, the life you think you should be living. It's either that, or are you going to leave this life with regrets? Lean into that fear, because it's a sign you're about to do something really remarkable.
That's great. And Kimberly?
I have got to piggyback that with one of my favorite quotes, and it's from Bronnie Ware. She's a palliative care nurse that started interviewing her patients about what their regrets were in life. Was was a blog turned into a book, amazing book. I highly recommend it. Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. The number one regret after she interviewed so many patients, the regret that was repeated so often that it made the top regret of a top 5 list was, I wish I had had the courage to live a life true to myself instead of the life others expected of me. So now is the time for you to really take whatever step back you need, really get to know who you are, what makes you tick, what lights your soul up, and then choose to love what you find as you uncover it, so that then it becomes a no-brainer to authentically be who you are in this world, letting your light shine, because we all benefit when you do. So thank you for being here today, and thank you, Sara, for having us.
This is great. And Christine?
And I'm going to end with a saying that I say at the end of every single one of my classes, my sessions for the last 20 years. And whatever you do, whatever you've accomplished, I have everyone put their hands on their hips, shoulders back, chest is lifted, abs in tight, confident in who you are, ready to conquer the world, the day, whatever's in front of you, because life is too short not to.
Very good. And on that note, I'm going to share a video with you guys of my lovely friend, Kimberly.
Gonna take a picture.
Built on the massive success of the first ever live stream mania, the SCW Stream team is back with a brand new fitness convention experience powered by Zoom. Introducing Live Stream Mania. With over 70 presenters and all new sessions as they are streamed live from our presenters' homes and studios directly to yours, all for an incredibly low price. Earn your CECs and join us for an action-packed, interactive weekend of knowledge and inspiration. Live Stream Mania. The stream is on.
I love that picture of you. And we, yes, Live Stream Mania, we're streaming from living rooms and basements. Watch for the bathrooms. Watch for the bathrooms. All right, ladies. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Mike Lieber, thank you for running this and making such a beautiful video. You're a master. And thank you, Petra. Thank you, Christine. And thank you, Kimberly. Love you, ladies. You're great. And everybody, thank you for joining us. We will see you. I think the next one we have is Sunday. So Sunday, another free webinar Sunday. And maybe next time you'll get to meet my dog here. This is Buster. Say hi, Buster. Okay, who went in the door? Okay, goodbye, everybody. Thank you. Have a good night.